Hello and welcome back to Random Librarian here on YouTube. So today is a very fun little half unboxing, half review session. So I got my first ever Illumicrate special box. I knew that I wanted to get this box because they were doing it for a book that I had already kind of fallen in love with. I saved most of it to read when the actual physical book got to me because I knew that, like, personally that I would like it more if I read it in page form rather than on my Kindle. I also wish that my hair was still pink. I had it dyed last week when I was doing this, but I wanted it to be still pink in honor of Maritza, and I just don't think it is showing up on camera. But what can you do? So, in case that didn't give it away, today we're talking about Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. This is a debut box from Illumicrate, and it came with some very fun special extras. So did come a little bit later than I was expecting. I think because I'm in the US and they're UK based, it just meant that the book had already been launched and it had been out in the world, and I was just sitting there like waiting for my copy. Like, I just want to finish it so bad. But I got to see it, get all of this press and see it in bookstores, and it kind of just built the hype for me. So it wasn't that bad to wait for it. First things first, they sent a lovely little signed book plate to add into the hardcover, which was of course in their iconic little bags. It also came with a little note that I do want to read to you guys because I think it is, it's just so lovely. Okay. Dear reader, welcome to the world of Cemetery Boys, where old magic fills the air with the sweet smell of marigolds. You can find spirits roaming between headstones, and maybe you'll come across an ancient death god or two. Yadriel is a member of the Brugex, an ancient community of Latinx people gifted with powers to help maintain the balance of life and death. The women, Brujas, have powers to help heal the living, while the men, Brujos, help the spirits of the dead cross over to the afterlife. It is a traditional community, one that doesn't know what to do with Yadriel because he is transgender and doesn't fit into their very black and white depiction of what gender is. However, the magic itself is actually gender affirming, and once Yadriel learns he has the powers of the Brujos, he's determined to prove himself to the other Brugex and sets out to summon a lost spirit and release it to the afterlife. I think that's one of the greatest things about fantasy and magic. As a writer, you get to make the rules and explore so many wonderful possibilities. In Cemetery Boys, the magic doesn't care about gender roles. It's not phobic, discriminatory, or prejudiced. For me, that was the fantastical that I wanted to hold on to. I hope you enjoy Cemetery Boys and go on to help bring its magic into our world by seeing, supporting, and loving people for who they are as they are. Happy reading. Aiden Thomas. I cry over basically everything, but I am tearing up reading that message, and I've read it before. I just think that's just such a wonderful way to send this wonderful book out into the world, if that makes sense. It also has some really amazing reviews on the back. Mark Oshiro, who I absolutely love. I haven't read Anchor's Gift yet, but I am obsessed with Each of Us the Desert, and I hope that other people are as well. I've passed it on to someone, and when they give it back to me, I'll probably do some kind of review specifically for that book. Margot Shiro writes, "This stunning debut novel is detailed, heartrending, and immensely romantic. Don't miss this book." Then Isabel Sterling, author of These Witches Don't Burn, wrote, "This delightful debut is a must-read for all paranormal romance fans." And then TeenVogue.com writes, "The novel perfectly balances the vibrant, energetic Latinx culture while delving into heavy topics like LGBTQ+ acceptance, deportation, colonization, and racism." I mean, at its base, it's both a fun, spooky read for Halloween and a cultural artifact, and just tackles hard questions in a way that I think is seamless and wonderful, and it made me so happy getting to know all of the characters in this book. So I am actually kicking myself because I had signed up for the pre-order campaign that Aiden Thomas was running on Instagram, and they sent me these gorgeous character cards, but they got here so much quicker than the book did that I don't know where I put it. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that like I go a little crazy when I lose stuff. So this is making me just bonkers. I don't know where they are. They're gorgeous. So I had the three main characters in Yadriel, Julian, and Maritza. And I loved all of them. I loved all three of them. I loved their relationships with their families, both found and genetic, whatever the opposite of like a found family is, birth family. They are just wonderfully well-rounded characters. I love a couple awkward moments. So if we're gonna have teenage protagonists, they're gonna have to have some awkward moments, and especially if you're like hiding a ghost boy in your room, you're gonna have some moments where you maybe trip a little bit. And it was just so heartwarming. There was a moment, I mean, when I'm reading something that I really love, if there are people around me, I have to stop and tell them what I'm loving as it's happening. So sorry, Shelby and Lainey, you already know a lot of the things about this book that I adore. But there was one part in particular where Yadriel's family gets a yearbook, and it's his photo after his transition, but it touches on how difficult it is to be a trans youth and to go through these governmental changes in addition to just becoming externally who you know you are. And they had the yearbook with his photo, like his actual photo, and the school refused to put his name that he has claimed. Please excuse the different framing. My camera just decided to take a little bit of a high dive off of the books that I have it stacked up at the moment. So they're looking through the yearbook to pick out Julian's friends so that they know who they're looking for. And Yadriel looks away for like a second, and Julian takes a Sharpie and fixes his name in the yearbook. And it's just little things like that that have so much meaning, but aren't like these weird grand gestures that I have never seen a teenager make myself. It felt very realistic. The atmosphere of the book is incredible. I didn't like LA when I visited, but I didn't visit with someone who like lives, knows, and like does magic in LA, so maybe that's different. But it's so just rich and wonderful, and I love the characters and I love the story, and I want everyone to read this book. It's perfect right now. It's very Halloween-y. Okay, so the things that came with the book in the Illumicrate box include this gorgeous pin designed by Mars Lodenbach, which is some candles and some marigolds, which are used in his coming of age ceremony that his cousin helps him at the very beginning of the book to go through and actually claim his powers as a brujo. And also this stunning wooden bookmark of the Lady Death. If I can find my character cards, I will also insert those in this video. If I can't, I will be sure to bring them up in some other video, maybe like favorite bookish objects that I have or something along those lines. Basically all I have to really say is buy this book, support Aiden Thomas going forward, as he has a new book coming out. It doesn't say when, but it's called Lost in the Neverwoods. There's something sinister waits within the trees, and when children start to go missing in the local woods, Wendy must face her fears and a past she can't remember to rescue them in Aiden Thomas's next atmospheric YA novel. I don't know if anyone else is getting Peter Pan retelling vibes there. Maybe it's just the name Wendy, but I'm really excited for it. I don't really care what it's about. I love Aiden Thomas's writing and the characters he creates and how atmospheric it is. So yeah, I'm gonna be reading everything he writes from here on forward. I think you should too. I'm not really big into like special editions, so I'm probably not going to do Illumicrate going forward unless you guys have like special reasons that I should, that you can leave in the comments down below. And that's not all I have to say about this book, but it's all I'm going to include in this video. If you want to come and just like gush about it with me, my DMs are always open on Instagram, and I would love to talk to people about this book. So good. Okay, that's the video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, I am trying to post as often as I can. And I hope I will see you in a future video. You can follow down below, find me on Instagram, Twitter, email I think is also down there. So let's talk books sometimes. Bye.